Welcome back, my Weld 2 family. It's Abraham. I'm here with my good friend Rocky Aviles. He's a specialty welder. He's worked with a bunch of well-known companies. Tonight he's going to show us how to do this convention box test. You ready?
Let's do it. What's going on, Weld 2 family? My name is Rocky Aviles. I'm a specialty welder from Houston, Texas, and I'm going to show you how to do this convention box test today. We're going to start out with this test. This test is a heater test. You know, it's mainly up there in the convention box. This is what you're going to see. In the field, it's mostly all chrome. The test lab is going to be Inconel, but for educational purposes, we're going to do carbon here. That way I can teach you the techniques and what I do on a slow-mo basis. All right, guys, so I'm going to talk about this pipe. It's a 4-inch schedule 40 pipe, and I'm going to run a 3/16 gap on there, and I'm going to tack it up from 3 sides. Both sides and the top side. The top side, I'm going to probably make a little bit bigger than the other ones. That way I could just tie in easier. But you could do it as you like, as you feel comfortable. I'm running a twister hose. It twists this. That way, whenever you're in any pipe, it could be this one or any other pipe, whenever you're down at the bottom of the pipe, it twists on its own. That way you don't got to have it wrapped around your hand. It's pretty light. I like it, you know, but you're going to use whatever works best for yourself. You know, whatever you feel comfortable welding. But I run this head. I'm running a Miller 200 head. I like it, you know, but you could either use heavy hitter or you could use any other good TIG torch to go ahead and weld your pipes up. For my hood, well, basically they're the same pocket hoods that you'll use, but you know, you can either use this one. This is the one that I started with. I'm comfortable with this one, but for this video, I'm gonna wear this Outlaw one. Real nice Outlaw one, looks slick. With a nice strap. Flip lens as well, man, that's nice. All right, so let's take this pipe, let's get to it. All right, just like whenever you're about to start welding, you got to sharpen your tungsten. That's first thing first. Me, I got this True Point tungsten sharpener, so sharpens it quick, you don't gotta use your fingers, and it's real fast. Just like that, you're done, ready to weld. I'm gonna run my hood, my regular hood that I use for everything, just to go ahead and tack it, but for the welding video, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So right now, I'm running at 95 amps just for the tacks, and let's get to it. All right, guys, I'm gonna do my top tack first. Here we go. Now, after this top tack, you gotta know where you want it to be at, because if you're right-handed, well, this side's gonna be easier than the left-hand side, right? So what I'm gonna do, so I can tie into my top tack easier from the sides, because as you see, there's a pipe right here. So I want my tie-ins, you want them to be as easy as you can. Tie in easy, see what you're looking at, that way you don't get no bad tie-in. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place this pipe right here to the side, and I can see, you know what I mean, where I'm gonna tie into, and I have a problem with it. So this is gonna be my tie-in point right here. So this is how the pipe's gonna be. I'm gonna put it like right there in the middle, almost to the middle, a little bit to the side, and I'm gonna do my 2 tacks right here. So as you can see, this side right here is longer than this side. Now that it's all tacked up, we're just gonna come and just fit, that's it. That way you know where your tacks are at and where you're gonna tie in at. So I like my pipe right there. I like it right there. Now, we know where we're gonna put it at, like a little rough draft. Since we can't use the grinder in there, we're gonna grind our tacks out here. Just the tie-in ones. All right, so on these tacks, since we can't use the grinder in there, I'm gonna feather my tacks right here. So whenever you start feathering your tacks, you gotta feather it, grind it into it until you see it's blue, you know what I mean? That way it could be the feather, like it'll be so thin that whenever you tie in, it'll be like it'll just slide in there like ain't nothing happened, like if you never stopped on the root. And for the top, these two, I'm gonna do it on both sides. Feather edge to both sides. That way, whenever you come with your left, you tie in good. Same thing as the right side. And then this side, exactly like how we did on the right side. All right, guys, so look, that's how you want your feather edge to look, blue. That means it's like almost nothing's even there. It's just paper thin. That way, whenever you put your rod on there and tie in, it'll go in there like butter. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna talk about this wire and why it's bent like that and why is it this long. This is a 70S2 wire. At work, it's mainly gonna be chrome. You're gonna be welding it on chrome or whatever they got right there. But I bent this wire only because on my tie-in, whenever I'm gonna tie in, it's gonna be a little bit to the side, you know, so it's gonna go straight down like this at first. It's gonna go straight like this at first. And then I'm gonna try to use my left hand as far as back as I can. If I could go right here, it'd be perfect, you know. But if I could go right here too, it's all right. You know what I mean? But the purpose for this angle of this wire, so whenever I get close to my tie-in, I'm gonna take this wire out, and I'm gonna put it to where I can tie in good. That way, you know what I mean? It's not in the way. Because if it's straight, I'm gonna be hitting this. So you gotta work with your wire as well. All right. So whenever you begin. As soon as I look at this test, because there's a whole bunch of ways that you could do this test, you'll learn on your own. But for me, my best way is I look at this test and I see how I'm gonna see the root, you know, because you want to put the best root in there. But I look at this test and I see where I could fit my head in or what's gonna be easier for me. So for me, specifically on this test, I'm gonna try to put my head between here. See where I can feed because I'm a back feed this pipe, and I'm gonna go ahead and slide my head in there right quick. When you're right here, you gotta make sure that you're comfortable. You twist your head on your TIG rig where it's best. Don't be at an angle, be straight in there. Be all straight in there. Make sure that you can see. You're not gonna be able to see both walls at all times, but for the bottom part, at least you can. So you're gonna start off with your left hand. I always start with my hard side first, so I'll go with my left hand first. So for this one, it's gonna be just like regularly for any other root pass, as long as you can see it good right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start it and do my root pass side to side while I feed. And for right now, I got my rod laying on the top I got my rod laying at the top of the tack for support. Going up, side to side, keep it steady, beat a little bit, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. And then right when I'm coming up to my tie-in, I'm gonna pop out, and I'm gonna feed it like that. I'm gonna tie in smooth, it's going in smooth. Pop up. Everybody got their own way of doing things, but just to let y'all know that yes, you probably have to weld with one eye with a mirror and all that stuff. But here we go. We're gonna do the top part now. All right, guys. So for this top part, you're gonna want to put your head where you can see the root the most. It's fine if you can't see it because you won't be able to see everything. So, but you go by the feel. You can't really see perfect in here, right? So you're gonna try to put your head as much as close as you can. That's why that pocket hood is real helpful during these heater jobs or boiler jobs. That way you can see. You can't see all the way, but whenever you're gonna make sure that you're gonna tie into that back part. Whenever you tie into that back part, you're gonna try to do your best to try to make sure that you tie it into the other part. So it's just like a steady movement. It's like whenever you do your cap, you're gonna stop at the top at the same spot. Keep going up. Well, not up, but side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side. And for some of y'all, in the top part, if you're running too hot with a big gap, like with a semi-big gap, just like how I like them, it might be heavy. So if you want, whenever you do the top side, lower your amps a little bit. That way it could be a nice bead all around. And then for the right side, it's going to be the exact same thing, but it's going to be way more comfortable because if you're right-handed, it's going to be easier than your left. Whenever I started the root on the left-hand side of the pipe, it was with my left. You know, I am right-handed, so with my left, you know, it ain't as good as my right hand, so I had to turn it down to 95. I did it on 95 on the left-hand side. So as long as you keep a consistent arc and have a place for support for your hand, and know how to move the TIG torch from side to side smoothly, it'll go in there pretty smooth. Well, the bent rod helps a lot on this right here. It helps a whole lot because if you have a straight rod, I mean, you could have a little small one and you'll have to get another rod, chop another one up. This way, when it's curved, you could just keep on going. Keep going and just don't stop. But I mean, you could also do it like that if you want to, if that's what makes it past X-ray for you. All right, now for the hot pass, I turn my machine up to like 140 because of this size of this pipe. But my wire, as you can see, my wire right here, I got it bent. It's curved. It's gonna be almost to the way of the pipe. That way, it don't gotta be like the exact same diameter, but it gotta be almost it. That way, you could also put metal in there until you get to the half part. Do the side, or you could just skip and just do like, you know, just grab it up since it's a hot pass now. But this is what I mean. That's why I had this wire like this. I get the bottom, I don't have to go all the way to the into the bottom of the pipe no more. So that way I'll just start at the bottom from the side, and that way I'll have a chance to feed it. Because if it's just like this, like you ain't gonna have much to feed. Your wire is gonna go off like that. So that's why you have to have it at an angle. But at the same time, everybody else got their techniques. I'm just teaching you my way, the way I like it. Quick way, if you got some nitpicks laying around or something, just bend it. And these sides are kind of tough to bend, that way you get the right angle. And for the hot pass, I did curve it as well. That way you can have a consistent feed. It's pretty critical if you bend the wire right, because like I said, you could be laying it on the pipe and feeding it, and all of a sudden you try to feed and then that angle is off. So you gotta make sure you have the right angle for that pipe if you want to keep on going. But like I said, you could also cut little pieces, you know, do it little by little. But bending the wire, it'll make you feed more into the pipe. That's why I have it curved almost to the pipe. That way I could just feed it. And now for this one, for the cab, we're gonna try to do it all in one go. So the same rule applies for the wire. So what we're gonna do, whenever I do the root, see, like, you always gotta adjust. It's good to put it on there and adjust. Whenever I do the root, I'm gonna make sure I'm like that halfway, and then feed it if I have to, and try to go like that. The most important part for this test is visibility, knowing that you can see, and second, precisioning, that way you can be comfortable. You gotta make sure you can move your hands. You gotta make sure you can move your hand properly, because there's a lot of stuff in the way. There's pipes in the way. At work, they'll be wrapped around with a K-wool for like the heating pads with heat stress and stuff like that. So you got to make sure that your visibility is on point, your precision is on point as well. And if you want to finish up the pipe, man, the curve on that wire will help you feed it up quick instead of cutting pieces, having to stop. This right here is pretty difficult, but it has a high reward and a lot of risk. It's a lot of risk because you can get to a job, you could drive to Oklahoma, you could drive to Chicago and be at a heater there and everything's 100%. You bust, your first one, second one, you go home, and after that, it's basically a heater job. Is everything's 100%. So almost every weld is a production shot. Most companies pay double time, and if it's time and a half, it will be in the 40 range, 40, 47, 45, 40, 42. But most of these are double time. But all I gotta say, man, is be careful. Know what you're laying in there, because they are gonna shoot it. So that's for sure. All right, guys, well, this is my way of passing that convention box test. Hope to help y'all out. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Rocky Aviles. And on Snapchat, it's Rocky-so. So I also want to shout out Weld 2 for letting me come do this convention box test for y'all. Hope it helps y'all out. And I also want to thank the guys that I started with. I'm at where I'm at because of them. So I want to thank my boy Daniel, my boy Juan, my boy Danny, and my boy David. Good guys out there in the field. So this is it. See you on the next one.